We had the same question from a bunch of different followers. They all want to know, how can I become a better driver like you?
Well, not everybody's made it so. Okay, so you can become a better driver by, of course, coming to one of our driving schools. So we do everything from teen schools up to M schools, everything in between. And we'll teach you some of the basics from proper seat position, steering technique, and then we do a lot of emergency braking, lane changes, skid pad. So we offer a lot, but you have to practice, right? I practice every single day. Perfect practice makes perfect, Derek.
Truer words never been spoken, Laura.
Just saying.
And what is your most memorable moment in the car?
My most memorable moment happened just about 3 weeks ago. This year. So I got to drive an M8 competition to the top of Pikes Peak. So it was with the local dealer, Winslow BMW. Fantastic people, love them. And so I got the opportunity to drive their car as the pace car, and we were pretty fast during the practice runs, so they threw a transponder on the car to see what I could do on race day, and ended up being like faster than a third of the field in a stock M8, so that was pretty cool.
So how did you hear about the Performance Center, BMW? What got you interested in coming to work at the Performance Center?
So honestly, I just was driving up Interstate 85 one day, and I knew that there was a driving school here. I knew it was BMW, and I had actually never driven a BMW. And honestly, I was just looking for work, and I had my resume with me, walked through the front doors, took a chance, and got the phone call the next day to come in. And Matt Mullins, he did the job interview, so he's like, let's see what you got. And we're out on the skid pad in the M5, so that was the first BMW I ever got to drive, was the F10 M5, and it got my attention really quick. So maybe part of the reason why the M5 is still my favorite. But yeah, so now I'm a fan of the brand and been here for 8 years.
If somebody wanted to know, one of our followers, Sick Germs, wants to know, how can I become a driving instructor apprentice?
That is definitely the most asked question that we get every single day. How do you become an instructor here? Everybody wants to become an instructor. Yes, we have the coolest job ever. But all of us, we all have a racing background. So that's what gets us this pretty cool gig. So you got to spend a lot of years racing and spend a lot of money doing it. And then maybe you can become a BMW driving instructor.
Tagged 2006 wants to know, what are the prerequisites that you need to be ready for an M school?
Really, there are no prerequisites. You do not have to be a BMW owner to take an M school. Just sleep, eat your Wheaties, as you say, right? And be ready to have a lot of fun. We'll wear you out in an M school.
Do kids even know what Wheaties are anymore? Does anybody know what Wheaties are?
I used to eat Wheaties.
Really?
They were really good, yeah.
Okay. Who's your biggest role model?
Derek Leonard.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
After the obvious, right?
Obviously.
After the obvious, which would be me.
Yeah.
Then who's next? Who's second? Like there could be a second.
I know. That's why it's very difficult.
I know. Take your time.
Answer.
Take your time. It's tough.
I think Catherine Legg. She's a pretty cool chick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
She can wheel it, and she's done a lot of the cool stuff that I would love to do. And yeah, I want to be Catherine Legg. She's cool.
You're a fan of Pippa Man too, right?
Oh yeah, Pippa. Yeah. Pippa, she's seen my drift video. She was like, dang, you can drift, girl. I was
right?
Like, yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Kristen Buckley wants to know, is there ever a chance where you're teaching like a teen school? Do you do teen schools or only like M schools? Are you too cool to teach teen schools now?
No way, Jose. I am the teen queen, Derek Leonard. I teach all the teen schools.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but yes. So I enjoy teaching the teen schools a lot. I think it's pretty rewarding for us to, kind of just share our passion. And at the beginning of the day, the kids are like, I don't really want to be here. And then at the end of the day, they're like, hey, driving's pretty cool. But I do teach all of the schools that we do.
You listen to music before you go racing? What kind of music do you listen to before you race? What gets you hype? What gets you lit, Laura Hayes?
Probably All Star by Smash Mouth. Definitely. I don't really
How often do you replace tires at the school?
Well, it depends. It depends on how you're driving, right? So students go through front tires a whole lot faster than instructors do because students are always over driving the corners, right? Getting people to brake on time is always a challenge, but we go through tires a lot. We go through like, what, 3,000 a year, I think? Something like that. Continental tires. Love Continental. They're the best.
Continental Tire makes the world go round. Do you ever work on your own cars?
No.
Next question. Oh my gosh.
I just bring it here.
Exactly. What's your favorite BMW?
Out of the current cars, I'm going to say the M5. So I've always been an M5 fan, and the technology in these cars is amazing. So I think the cool part about this bad boy here is being able to shift between four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. So that's a lot of fun out on the skid pad to go from four-wheel drive drifting to two-wheel drive drifting. Different technique.
David Plancha wants to know, what's on your personal bucket list? What have you not done that you want to do that's on your bucket list?
Two things that I want to do. I want to be able to race the Nürburgring one day. Driven it several times with groups, so we organize really fun trips over to the Nürburgring. We also go to Sweden and do winter training, so that's a lot of fun. So I want to race the Nürburgring, and I want to race Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak. Esmeralda wants to know, how can I gain more confidence behind the wheel as a student after I've been in a small accident?
Accidents happen, right? There was actually a lady yesterday picking up her new X5, and she mentioned that she had a really bad accident just about 7 weeks ago, and somebody hit them at about 45, 50 miles per hour, and she said, I was so scared to get back behind the wheel, but just a little driving that we did in the morning, raised her confidence sky high. So you just have to get back behind the wheel.
I just got an X3M in July, and I love it. What advice can you give me to get to know that car better? Like, what can I do to get better in the X3M?
So X3M, great car, by the way. Good choice. What was his name?
I don't see it. It's not given.
Oh, not given.
It's
not
like
given.
it's not a name.
Great choice.
Right.
X3M. So you can come and take Performance Center. What is it called?
Performance Drive.
Center, Performance Drive.
Or buy a seat in a track meet.
Yeah, and then you'll get the opportunity to drive the X3M and see what it can really do.
Right.
Because it is certainly capable of a whole lot more than you get to experience out on the road.
Driving somebody else's X3M on a private track is
Yes.
way more fun, right?
Way more fun.
Shannon Sheehan wants to know, endurance versus sprint. I know you've done both. You've run SCCA sprint style races. You've also run WRL, AER, endurance style races. Which one do you prefer? What's your favorite?
So the last few years I've been doing endurance racing, and I've been enjoying that the most out of all the different types of racing I've done throughout the years. So I think it's really fun, the whole team aspect of it, and there's always a chance, right? The races are really long, and if something goes wrong early, keep pushing, and you never know.
That's right. Keep fighting. Team. Greg wants to know, and actually, I'm going to read it the way he wrote it. Laura, what's your favorite BMW color?
Greg! My favorite BMW color now is Isle of Man green. I saw that on the M8 Grand Coupe at the Welt in Germany, and yeah, got my attention.
Super cool.
Super cool.
Also, the launch color on the new M3 coming out in 2021.
New M3.
All right. Do you have any favorite race car drivers? Who's your favorite race car driver of all time?
So during COVID, I watched a lot of old Formula One videos, and Formula One back in the 80s and the 90s, man, it was awesome. And so Nigel Mansell, I'd say he's probably my favorite now.
Sweet
The mustache
stash.
is pretty cool, and made some gutsy moves, and I also like Damon Hill. He made this pass on the outside, man, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
I see it.
It's a rainbow in Jim Clark.
A rainbow, Jim Clark, M-Car, skid pad.
It's magical.
Holy crap.
It was meant to be.
I mean, look at that. Tell Jim to drift.